Hey everybody, welcome back to the Mama Vegas Show. If you're new here, welcome in. Of course, as you know, Las Vegas is more than just the neon lights. This is our platform for dreamers, your platform, our stage. Today I'd like to welcome our guest, Cecilia Skeete.
Hello.
Local up-and-coming author.
Yes.
She is not just a local up-and-coming author. She is a great friend of mine. So being able to give her first exclusive interview for her new book, I'm super excited, titled Welcome to the Hood, Motherhood. Cecilia, let's dive into it. Let's talk about it. I mean, I know a lot of people might not know much about us, that we've been friends. We started working together and we just hit it off. And I guess I can say that prior to this, we've endured a few things together. We've endured struggle together, and joy together, and healing together, and success together.
For sure.
So it resonates different. You know, I'm super excited, and now we get to celebrate you. So I'm honored to do this interview and to have the listeners hear what's coming up for you and exciting news about your book.
Yes. Well, one, thank you for having me. I'm super excited, and I'm really excited that I get to jump into your new endeavors, such as being a podcast host. But like you mentioned, yes, we've gone through so much stuff together. Mm-hmm. We have raised our children together. Yes. We have literally been each other's ride or die, popped up on people when needed to. We've seen our children's successes, yes, and we've literally been kind of each other's rocks while we were raising our children. And I mean, speaking of, I mentioned you in my book and some of the things that
yes,
I've gone through that you've helped me with. And yes, my book is called Welcome to the Hood, Motherhood, and it is just a dive into some of my mommy memoirs, some things that I went through as a parent, some life lessons and lessons my kids learned along the way. And I actually have some journaling pieces in there as well, because journaling throughout the years while parenting really helped me kind of piece this book together. So yeah, it's a bunch of a few different aspects of not just a self-help or parenting book, but it kind of has a wide genre of different different books and book titles.
Yeah, I'm super excited. Let's just dive right in. Could you share with our audience what inspired you to write Welcome to the Hood, Motherhood? And were there any specific moments or experiences? I know we have a few in there that, you know, catalyst for this book that kind of propelled it into what it is.
Yeah, for sure. So I'll take that question piece by piece. So, okay. So you mentioned what inspired the book. Well, I literally have been writing this book for about 3 years.
Okay.
And what inspired it is just at work, people constantly come and be like, hey, how are the kids? How was your weekend? And I constantly have a crazy ass story to tell about my children. There's always something going on in the Skeete household. So I would tell them, and it started to be like a thing. It started to be, people were coming to me like, how did you get through this? Or what did you do this? And oh my God, your kids did this. How did you get through it? And, you know, so it really inspired me to kind of start putting things together, because I was helping a lot of parents, a lot of single parents with my experiences, and I found myself being a listener, but also giving feedback to people when they're going through things, just in candid conversations. Yeah. So that's what really inspired me to start piecing together all of the things that I kind of put together through Facebook over the years. Yeah. As we know, in the beginning of Facebook, we used it awfully, right?
Yeah. We didn't know what to do with it.
Right. We were putting stuff like, oh my God, today I have a headache. Like, oh my God, today my kid threw his booger at me. Like, we were putting that kind of stuff on Facebook.
And you know how to use it.
We didn't, because Facebook was like originally made for college students. Right. And once non-college students were able to jump on,
it was like, oh, this hour.
Yeah. Right. And I still cringe at my memories that pop up, like, girl, what were you talking about?
Yeah, some of the pictures.
Oh my God. So I just took a lot of that, and a lot of my writing that I have just wrote up amongst the years and my struggles, and I put it to paper. And I started pre-pandemic, and during the pandemic I really got to dive into it because we had nothing but time at home. Yes. So that is kind of the, you know, the thought process behind starting my book. And then you had a question about the catalyst being
like what experience or moments propelled you into the book, to writing this book, which served for that.
So tons of moments. I will say, literally we have a moment every day in my house.
Right. Right.
Never.
I'm your friend, I know.
You know, literally every day I'm like, can you believe this? But so I didn't have a specific catalyst to kind of really get it going.
Yeah.
I just really felt like I have some things to share and some stuff to help with my real life experiences. And I constantly get asked this. I constantly get asked, how do you do it?
Yeah.
How did you do it? Now that my kids are grown, they're getting ready to go to college. One is in college. I get asked, how did you do it? Like, or people say, I don't understand how you did that when you don't have friends and family here.
Right.
So that really kind of sparked it to, just kind of empower.
And you kind of make family, right? When you you go to a place that's foreign, I guess, to you, you make family, friends become family.
Yeah.
Case in point.
Exactly.
Yeah, friends become family. And they become part of the village and helping you raise your children.
Right.
And so, like you said, when you sit down, all of those collections of conversations with single moms and friends from different workplaces, it all becomes a collection of thoughts, and you kind of just take it and propel it into advice, right? Because everybody, it's a little bit of advice from everybody that you kind of just experted into your own, right? We take a little piece of this, a little piece of that from everybody, and then we grow with it.
Exactly.
In the book, you address unique challenges faced by parents, young mothers, single mothers. Can you elaborate on why you chose to focus on this particular demographics, and what do you hope they'll gain from your book?
So I chose to really hone in on single mothers because from my own experience of being a single mother, we don't have any real support, right? There's a book called What to Expect When You're Expecting, right? Everybody read that as a single mom because we didn't know what the hell we're doing pregnant. Right. And then they had Through the Ages. And then there was nothing to tell us what to do. Everything is based off of a two-person home, a two-income home.
Right. Great job.
Yeah. Right. A well-paying job. Right. You should be able to afford this, and you got to put your kids in welfare. Not welfare, in daycare, and you shouldn't be on welfare, and you shouldn't do all of these things.
Right.
And what I learned is we do not have any type of support or any type of direction besides what America thinks we should be doing.
Right.
And also the statistics of all Black women are not doing well, and they're not raising their children well, and they are on welfare. Right. So what I feel like with single mothers, that we always need assistance. Yeah. From the government.
Someone else, like the government, a crutch.
Exactly. Yeah. So I really decided that I wanted to show my struggles, and yes, all of that happened in my book. The audience, when you guys buy my book, you will see that I touch on every single moment of going through all of those things. Yeah. But it's okay, and so I really wanted to provide some guidance towards single moms on how to get through it and get through it your own way. Right. Do not take what society and statistics say that you should be doing, but do it your own way and what works for you and your children.
And what I really enjoyed, and I think that the audience and the readers will enjoy when they're able to purchase the book, is that it's like I told you before, I have the opportunity to read it and thoroughly read it, and it's like sitting down with you, having a conversation, you're just talking to the readers like a friend, Right. Whose damn baby is this when you bring the baby home? How can we all relate to that change of going from just you to now I'm responsible for this person. This person don't like me. Why are you crying? Why am I holding you? You still don't like me. Yeah. So you go through that phase of going into motherhood, and so you share that, the real raw aspect of it. It's not always fun.
It is awful.
Yeah, you're not gonna always laugh,
No, exactly, and kids are assholes.
Right. They can.
And becoming a mother is such a life-changing event that, especially me being a young mother, that
Yeah.
I was not prepared for. So even though I come from a family, a very large, not immediate family, but a very large family where the village raised a child. And so we helped, my young cousins came and lived with us, and we just kind of took care of each other. So I had experience from some of my younger cousins coming and living with us as babies, as needed, per the family issues that we all go through. And that was the experience I had. Or, helping out family members with, child care, and we just were definitely a strong family of the village, raised a child.
Yeah.
So that's the only experience I had, but it definitely wasn't enough to be a mom. I got pregnant in college.
Right.
So, but yeah, like you said, it's for sure sets up, kind of the transition into motherhood and the journey that you go through it. And each chapter I try to, like you said, one of the chapters is whose damn baby is this? Because like when I brought my child home, she absolutely didn't want anything to do with me because I had a stroke after having her. And so bringing her home, my parents actually took care of her for the first quite a few weeks, and she did not like me.
And I can relate to that. My middle child, Drasia, was very colicky, but I didn't know what that was. And I remember I had moved into an apartment that was not where my mom lived, and I mean, she cried all night long. And I remember hearing I knocked at the door. And I opened the door, and somebody had this set bottle outside. I said,
it's like, hush that baby up, ma'am.
They had the brought about, but I didn't know what was wrong. So I understand, but getting experience and talking to other mothers and growing and having more than one child, the process, you learn these things. So then, that second child, when they have a fever, you're not rushing to the emergency room. Just give them some Tylenol.
Absolutely.
You learn and grow from
because
being
this
a mother.
third child, honey.
We
gonna talk about that last one. That last child, they are getting away with murder. I'm trying not to let it happen, but Lord, it is hard to chase them around.
Well,
and we learned how to be a mom. So
like,
you're okay. You're not gonna die. Get up. It's all right.
That's so funny. Like we go through the same kind of moments. We have 2 children. Again, we're helping each other right now. With our kids, you help get my daughter to and from school. She goes to Auntie's house before and after school.
And before that, my kids walk to your house because we're working mothers and we have to help each other out. Because daycare costs an arm and a leg.
And that's what friends do, but that's part of the village. And so you talk about that too, the community about being a parent. Your book offers practical guidance tools for mothers and young mothers and parents. Can you share a few key takeaways that you believe are especially important for them to grasp as they navigate their journey of motherhood or parenting?
So, at the end of each chapter, I have something called Mommy Code. And to me, it is like, but I also just say it's Mommy Code because, stick to the G code.
Right. As you relate to parenting as a gang.
It is. Parenting is a gang. Like, you get jumped in soon as you have this baby, and there ain't, getting out.
That's the best.
I mean, you can opt out, and that's your business, but but for real, you are stuck in this gang. But, so... You asked that what were some of the
key your key takeaways that you believe are especially important for your mothers and parents
takeaways from the book
to grasp and navigate as their journey through motherhood.
Okay, so key takeaways. One is you do not have to listen to what people say to do with your child. One thing I learned is my middle child is very defiant. He was very defiant. He still goes against the grain. And people would say, because he was wild. Nobody wanted to babysit him. He bounced off chairs, tables, constantly on 10. And I would hear people say, oh, you need to whoop his ass. I'm like, I tried. He don't care, but things that they would tell me to do and try, and I literally tried every single type of disciplinary action, being, also having a background in early childhood education. I took all of those resources and tried to use them with him, and he still was going to do what he wanted to do. What I learned, this is one thing I also tell parents, is these are people. And they are their own person. As much as you raise them and you're like, I didn't raise you to be like that, it don't matter. Because these are going to be their own people, and they're going to make their own decisions. So what I learned from him is he is his own person. No matter how I raise him, now I have to support him and figure out how to help him get through these challenges that he's having. So that is a take back, is they're their own people. No matter, you don't come back and say, I didn't raise you like that. You may not have, but guess what? They're going to make their own decisions.
Ooh, that's the parents' favorite saying. I didn't raise you that way. But that's so important, such a key point, right? You're right. I'm raising you to be an individual. So I can't put an expectation on you. I have to allow you to grow and be an individual. I agree. That's such a very important that you said that, right? Like that's so resonating, because we do say that as parents. I didn't raise you that way. You're right. I didn't. I raised you to be an individual. So at some point, you're going to be the individual that you choose.
Right. And no matter what people choose, and as they grow up and become adults, I just feel like I just want to raise kind humans. I just want to raise kind people, respectful people. So even if I don't agree with what you're doing, you're not out here disrespecting people, and you don't have to follow my footsteps. I don't want you all to follow my footsteps. But you do what you want to do, but as long as you're a kind person, a respectful person, that's really what I wanted to get out of my children. And yes, have your own successes, and whatever you decide to do in life, that's what you decide to do. But that was key for me, is not worrying about so much what they do when they grow up, but the kind of people they're going to be.
And I have a question about the journaling. Do you think that it's important? You mentioned that journaling was part of your process, being able to take away your takeaways from moments and things that happen in situations and experiences, and write it down and then create a book from it. Do you encourage your children to journal? And at what age did you start that?
That is such a good question. So I absolutely encourage my children to journal. So what we started doing as soon as they could start writing is every year, New Year's, the week before New Year's Eve, which is also my son's birthday, is I would have them write down their goals for the year, for themselves, their goals for their family for the year, and then long-term future goals. Soon as they could write, we were writing these. And so we did that year after year, and not to say, obviously they're teenagers and they don't do it, but I will say journaling and writing down affirmations and things of that sort stuck with my oldest. And she'll be like, Mom, like I manifested this, like these are my affirmations. And Junior, he goes and does his own thing. Boys are really quiet, so he kind of does his own thing, but I don't care how old you are in my house, we're still going to set these goals every year. And then Lily, she likes to be by me all the time, so yes, we are practicing journaling at night. It's good for handwriting, because as you know, they stopped really teaching cursive and stuff in schools. So we journal at night, we write down affirmations, and we write down our goals for really we do it monthly. So when I'm going over my budget too, because she ain't got no money, she broke. But she'll go over best friend. She is writing down just her what she wants to accomplish in things such as basketball and school and friends. So
I think that's really important, to encourage children to express themselves in any way, shape, or form, whether it's writing, whether it's art, whether it's singing. All of my kids took up a certain way of expressing themselves. Beautiful as a gamer, but I'm trying to get her another way. But like you said, they all are so different, right? All your kids are so different. I know your kids personally; they are so completely different. Lily, when she was a baby, she knew I was TT, but she didn't like me too. She was a good 3, right? Good 3, and she was not shy about using her lungs even when you held her. And so I remember maybe once or twice when I babysat her as a baby. I think she cried
probably the whole time.
I think she cried in her sleep.
It's them birth babies. It's them breastfed babies.
She has severe separation, and she wouldn't want to drink that bottle from anybody. So it's so different, but I got to experience that with you from her as a young baby. With the other kids,
and Beauty was the same way.
Oh my God, Beauty was the same way. Yes,
I could not wait for her to spend the night in my house. I used to try to bribe her to spend the night, but she was like,
it took her a minute.
Stranger danger.
I remember she was like, I'll stay for a little while. But she had to come home.
Now she don't like to go home. She liked to
liked to stay at TT house. And that brings us to community, right? That sense of having that community to help you. Community support is reoccurring in your work, in your book.
Yes.
How do you see your book contributing to the sense of community and support for mothers, parents in Las Vegas and beyond? How do you see that resonating?
So because with my journey, I came to Vegas with no friends, no family, none of that. And my friends, besides you and maybe 2 other people, are all from my children.
Yeah.
They're all from my children. I'm not the kind of person to go outside and just make new friends on my own. My personality is outgoing, but I also am not I don't really rock with everybody.
Yeah.
So, and I know my opinion is not highly favorable sometimes. So I think that it's definitely going to encourage people to, kind of, if you have your kids meet somebody and they're like, hey, my kids are going to that game too, do you want me to pick them up? Say yes.
Yeah.
Say yes.
Yeah.
Because are you going to have time to do all the
Right.
things all the time? As I had 3 kids in sports by myself.
Right.
Could I do it all by myself?
No.
Hell no.
No.
So I absolutely was taking people up
Right.
on, can you please? And I'll meet you at that game.
Right.
Or, hey, we all, my daughter got an amazing friend group. And my next book, I'm going to definitely